win football games, and he's not just a guy you plug in. He's the reason why you win football games.
All right, let's bring Kurt Warner back in on this one. Kurt, we heard what Marshall had to say about Manziel. We know the Cowboys are rumored to be interested in him. We also know they don't have a GM to fire if he is a first-round bust. So should they consider drafting him and start to look toward the future of their quarterback position?
In my opinion, I say no, and I look at two different factors. First, the fact that they have a lot of holes in that team. They've got to make a lot of moves to make themselves competitive, playoff contender and a championship contender. And so when you have a quarterback that you just signed to a $100 million deal, do you go out and make that move for another one when you have those pieces? I say no. And I think the second thing is the pressure that it puts on Tony Romo. He's already under a lot of scrutiny, with that football team and the fact to win. And so I think the key is to put more pieces around him to give him every opportunity to do that, again, because you've said he's the franchise quarterback. The one caveat here, though, is that Tony Romo's had a couple surgeries, back surgeries, the last couple years. Does that front office believe that his career is going to be shorter because of that, and the future is going to start much sooner than maybe some of us expect? If that's the case, then maybe you entertain it if you believe Johnny Football is the answer long term.
Well, Kurt, we know later in the show you're going to give us your top 5 quarterbacks in the draft. We're looking forward to that. But as we continue to look at Manziel, what type of quarterback do you think he will be in the NFL, regardless of where he goes?
Well, I think he's a quarterback that has a lot to learn. I think he's a guy that's very, very dynamic, as Marshall just mentioned, a guy that is a playmaker. He's going to go out and do a lot of things for you in the course of a football game. But I'm not sure he's a guy that you can ask to make 25, 30 plays for your team with his right arm. I'm not sure he's consistent enough. I'm not sure he understands how to be a pocket passer enough to be that kind of guy right now. So, I look at him and I say, if he can get into a situation a la Russell Wilson or Colin Kaepernick, and I know those situations are rare, but good defense, good running game, where we ask the quarterback to make 7 or 8 plays a game, I think that's a perfect fit for him. If he's asked to make every play for a football team with where he's at right now, he'll make some. I'm just not sure he's ready to carry a football team at the National Football League level. So it's interesting. I think Houston is probably the most complete football team in the top 10 or 15 and would probably be the prime spot for him. I'm just not sure they're going to make that reach and make him the number 1 pick.
So are you saying he's a top 10 pick?
Well, yeah, I think because he's a playmaker, and I think because we're a quarterback-deprived league, I don't think there's any question about it. What I love about him is that he's a tremendous competitor. And if there's one thing I want at the quarterback position, it's a competitor. It's a guy that wants to be the best, that goes out and believes that he can make every play on the football field. Johnny is that guy, and so I believe because of that, he's elevated to probably the top quarterback in this draft class, and that makes him a top 10 quarterback.
All right, top quarterback in this draft class. Thanks a lot, Kurt. We'll see